Hey y'all, welcome back to Cliffside Bay, City Skylines 1, no mods, no DLC, all that kind of thing, and this is my magical botanical build, as you can see here. I got this done quite a few days ago. So unfortunately, I've been suffering at the hands of Mother Nature, and we've only recently had our power put back on over the last few days, the kind of thing, and I've been super busy, so I've now got time and the power to play the game again, and I gotta tell you, it feels absolutely, it feels like heaven when you got the power back. You don't realize how much you rely on things. So there we go. So we got the power back. So hopefully I got the series back and we can finish off the series. Oh man, that's kind of weird on the eyes, all the juddering and the flashing of the shadows. Yeah, we gotta finish off the series and we're kind of getting there. And we're gonna finish off by finishing off over here. So this was my initial, as you can see here, my little Olympic kind of build, I guess. Looks like that for now. Okay, so what can I do with this? This is going to be kind of interesting. I've already built a stadium, as you can see right over here. There you go. Looks like that. So I kind of came up with something kind of fancy. And that is kind of fancy. It's kind of cool. There we go. So we're going to try and do one more final stadium build for one of my final builds of my whole city. So let's do that. So yeah, we got to make sure it's a little bit different to that one back there. And I have no idea what to do. So first of all, let me do a little bit of deleting of my jumpy game. So we can delete all these like that. Now you'll notice this is going to lack power very soon. Very soon. Where's the power? I can't see. Okay, there you go. It's now out of power. So hopefully that starts showing me the elements of we need power, that kind of thing. Speed up the game. There we go. There's the power. So demanding power straight away. So yeah, I've got to find a way of connecting the power to here because yeah, it's let me show you again from above. I don't really want to put any buildings here because it kind of takes away from the design there, and there's nothing really that I want to put there. Maybe I could get away with maybe a garden or two. Would that fit in? I'm not too sure. Kind of looks, yeah, kind of takes away the, yeah. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll leave that in there just for now, just to allow them to continue with the power. Eventually, there you go. So then I got the power. So yeah, let's do something with this. So I've got an idea of moving these around as well, so let's do that. Pause the game, do a little bit of moving while I can. Right, that's over there. Let's do a bit of deleting, because my idea is to have somehow this hovering above the stadium. Like that. It's all kind of like in line with this, even though the trees are kind of in the way. And some of these big ugly buildings, which I might change over. So yeah, we're going to try and have this right behind here. But I might have it a little bit raised up. Raising it up might be kind of cool. So yeah, let's do a little bit more deleting. There you go, that's the deleting. Now let's go for the smoothing. I have no idea how I keep coming up with these kind of weird ideas. Yeah, I should have run out of ideas by now, especially because we're only using no mods and no DLC, so it kind of limits my options. But I don't know, I'm quite creative enough, as you probably notice in real life if you knew me. So yeah, let's work on this. Let's make that max strength and max brush size. So that's kind of cool. It's cutting into the mounting a bit, isn't it? Okay. See if I can do something about that later. So yeah, we want to make it a little bit higher up, I guess. So I don't know how high I want to go. Let's go to this. This is a nice little contour line. Let's go with that. Right click there. And then hopefully we can get something popping up here. Okay, so it looks like that. So let's put a temporary road down. Let's just put a road along from here just to give me that kind of 90-degree angle kind of format that I'm looking for. That's okay. So we got that. So let's put this in maybe here. That might work. Then let's put this right behind here. That's central. I'm not too sure. Let's have a little look at that. Whoa, that is pretty cool. Look at that. I can't believe that. Okay, yeah, I'm absolutely blown away by that. I was thinking of kind of having to jimmy this around, finagle it, all that kind of thing. I'm going to put a little provisory protective road there in case I want to move this around. But that's looking okay. It's cutting into the mountain, so I don't know. Maybe I should have that a little bit closer to here. But for now, we're going to put it kind of here. And what I want to do is I want to have the steps going kind of the opposite way. I'll show you what I mean. So let's get rid of this road here. Actually, let's put this road a bit further like that. Bring that along like that. Delete this road completely. And then let's bring that on this side. Oh. Bring that a bit closer like that. There we go. And then put a road there like that. And then we're going to turn that over to face this way just like that. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's looking pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. And I kind of want these steps to be this way, so when you walk up the steps, you get to overlook here, that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. So let's delete this road. I don't want this road here. There we go. But I'm going to leave these in here protected in case I want to move it a little bit later on. There we go. So we got that. So that's kind of cool. I like that. There we go. So what can we do now? So I definitely want to put a key wall in here. So let's do a bit of... Shall I do a bit of flattening? I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let me delete all this. Now, can I come up with a kind of a garden design for here? Let me see. I'm going to go with... yeah, let me lower the land out again. What I want to do is come up with a different kind of shape. That looks okay. That looks... Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't want this to be taller than the height of this, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. That's a bit of a slope, so... I don't know. Maybe I could raise it up a little bit. Yeah, okay, we'll stick with that. I'm happy with that. There we go. That's perfect. And let's do the same over here. Right, there you go. There's our beautiful canvas to play around with as we wish. So let's go to this road here. He says before even finding it. Oh, this road here. There we go. So let's bring this up. I don't know. Let me go. I don't know where to go. I'm thinking we go about wherever I can get it to stop. There you go. That looks like a good enough place. 660 and it's kind of risen up there. That's okay. I'm okay with the slope of that. So going to keep that. So let's bring this road along here. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to this road here. Let's go maybe 780. Looks like a good number to me. 780? Yeah, I'm okay with that. It kind of works. And then let's go, I don't know. Let's bring it back here. How far back do I want to go? I'm thinking maybe 900. Okay, so let me delete that little piece there. Now, I've got a reason behind this. A bit more flattening out, so I'm definitely going to have to move this back a bit further. Now, I've got a reason behind this actual dimension. Now, I think I've done this before. This is kind of similar to when I'm putting in lots of tennis courts. So I'm going to go 900. And hopefully I can get some tennis courts and basketball courts in here and maybe a little kind of room for paving, that kind of thing. So it looks like that. And we're going to do the same over on this side here. There we go. So we got that design. So that's kind of cool. Let me flatten out the terrain yet again. We're going to flatten it out from this level here, like that. And maybe I can put in some key walls around here. Do the same here. I'm going to flatten all that over like that. That's kind of cool. And that gives me a little kind of room to do a little bit of detailing, that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. Kind of like that. So is that far enough back? I'm not too sure. Maybe I can get away with that. I'm not too sure. So happy with that. Let me press play for a little while to get rid of that water kind of symbol. There it goes. There we go. So yeah, let's see what we can do now. So yeah, my plan is these are the measurements for getting in. Now, they're not quite the measurements. I think it's a little bit smaller, but I've got a plan to put in some paths. So let me show you what I mean. Find the right one. This one. Here we go. As you can see here, you got a bunch of tennis courts you can fit in here. Not only that, it gives you kind of room for paths. And even though I don't plan any of my builds, this one I've kind of known from a long time ago because this is one of my kind of builds that I never forget. There you go. So you can do it like that. I think the measurement is you bring it in maybe kind of one tile this way, one tile that way, and then you can have them all back to back without any paths in the middle, that kind of thing. So that's my whole idea behind that. It's part of the kind of Olympic setup, so this is going to be the tennis area. So this might as well be the basketball area, so let's do that. Like that, and I'm going to put that path in kind of here. Like that, and like that. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Escape. There we go. It looks like that from above. So, yeah, so I definitely want to try and put a key wall in here. But can I get away with it? Maybe I can. And maybe I can get away with putting some key walls here. I'm not too sure. Let me do a bit more kind of land smoothing. So what I want to do is I'm going to put a road here. Any old road would do. Let me flatten off the terrain first. Let me think. I'm thinking and working at the same time. Some points on, flatten out the land here. There's going to be a lot of backwards and forwards. Flatten out the land here, put a road here. Advisory road, this is to protect the land, as you've probably seen me do many times. Flatten out the land here. Put a road protector here to protect the territory, that kind of thing. And then we're going to flatten out the land here. There we go, and then I'm going to put a road along here, like that. Like that, there we go. That's just to help me get my key wall set. So there we go, that's kind of cool, I like that. So yeah, let's put in some key walls. So I'll time-lapse this, because you've seen me do this a million times. Actually, before I do that, I've got a little plan, a little change. I'm going to delete this, and delete this, and this, and do the same here. And I'm going to come up with a particular design for this. So let's do that right now. Okay, so there you go. It looks kind of even. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete this one here. And we can delete this one here. Like that. And then we're going to bring these kind of round, freeform them. We're going to bring them round to fit into there. Okay, let's put this road back in. Freeform, of course, and bring that around like that. There we go. So that's my design for that. Let me bring that path back in. Then what we can do is we can have a kind of little, I don't know, maybe a little park for each kind of little part of the venue, that kind of thing. There you go. So it looks like that from above. So yeah, let's time-lapse the key walls. Okay, a little tidying up and we should be okay. Yep, I'm happy with that. There you go. So yeah, like I said before, all this kind of gray-brown stuff is because these roads are too close to here. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I can do, he says, by pressing the wrong button, is to remove the road completely. Or have these key walls a little bit further away, but I'm okay with that. We can hide that with vegetation, that kind of thing. Make it kind of exotic looking. But yeah, there we go. That's my final design. Looks like that. So let's find a way of getting the power to here. Let me show you. Come out of here. Let's find a way of getting the power to here without having these gardens in the way. And now all I got to do is kind of move these over here. Kind of want it, I don't want it to be too kind of close. I want it maybe there. I've got an idea. As you can see. I don't have an idea, but I'm working on it. I'm delaying. I'm delaying everybody by talking too much till I come up with the actual idea. So yeah, let me lower the land. Yeah. Now I really do have an idea. Let me lower the land. Let me go to about here. Maybe here. So yeah, let's do that. Put that on max. There you go. That should work. So I am kind of happy with that. So let's carry this road all the way up here. Up to about kind of here, I think. That should be fine, like that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to bring this road all the way around behind here. Somehow. So let me do a little bit more smoothing of the terrain over here. A little bit like that. There we go. Let's change these roads over. Then what we're going to do, we're going to freeform them to see if we can get them to kind of go in here. Okay, that's a bit... Yeah, let's bring on the smoothing over here as well. There we go. That looks a lot better. And then we're going to freeform that and get that to kind of join in like that. And do the same with this one here. Like that. There we go. That's my final design. So let's get rid of these roads here. Don't need that. Don't need that. All that. And as you can see here, we got a different design of road. And they got little crosswalks you can see right here, which kind of pop in when you change up the roads like that. So that's absolutely perfect. Right, okay, so let's carry on over here. So what we're doing, we're trying to get the power back in here. So, yeah, it's going to be mighty interesting. So I want to do maybe a mountain road from kind of here all the way up here. So this is going to be kind of tricky. So let's move these again. So, yeah, let's see if we can come up with a road that goes up here. Kind of, yeah, a bit more convincing than this, although this is kind of ugly, but I'm going to have to try and do the best that I can. So, yeah, we're going to slope it from maybe here. There we go. I'm happy with that. That's kind of worked out okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then, so, yeah, how am I going to get the power from there to there? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit more flattening out the terrain here. Okay, that's all smoothed out. Now let's see if we can put a path in here. So I'm going to put in a little semicircle. So let's go maybe 120. Let me try that. Oh, 100 looks okay. Try 100 instead. 100 and 100. There we go, that'll work. And then let's put a path around here. There we go, that looks like that. And then we're going to try and fit these wind turbines around there. Let's make sure this is nice and flat. It goes, so it looks like that. How's that for making it up as you go along? As per usual with me. So yeah, let's put this path in. Got an idea of making this as a kind of a weird hangout kind of joint. So yeah, that's going to be kind of interesting. Which means I'm going to do another semicircle around kind of here. Like that. There we go. Let's tie these in. Like that. There we go. Kind of interesting, isn't it? And then let's get another little kind of semicircle going on kind of around here. There we go. That's going to be our hangout joint. Kind of cool. And we're going to delete this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. It's going to look like that. There we go. Absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm kind of having fun not knowing what I'm doing. There you go. So got a little hangout place. So if people, for some reason, want to hang out over wind turbines, they can. There you go. So you got that. We got a terraformed kind of canyon and mountains leading up to the Yeah, the observatory, which is facing the wrong way. I want it facing this way, looking out there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do later. But yeah, let's get back to getting the power up here. So how are we going to do that? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put a little medical center kind of here. Because it doesn't look like it's a medical center unless you really zoom in. You could pretend it's some other building. But I'm okay with that. We're going to put one there. We're going to put one on the other side. Just to make it look kind of uniform and like it belongs. Actually, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking maybe we put this one kind of here. Kind of fits in a lot better like that. Yeah, I like that one like that. It's a shame we can't do that. It means I'd have to kind of rearrange the key walls yet again. Shall I do that? Yeah, let me do that off camera. Okay, there we go. That should be done. Did that off camera because you've seen me doing key walls too many times. But yeah, it's just a case of kind of removing it, putting in some more water, and just putting it over here. So that way I can get this kind of building right in here, hopefully. Yeah, there you go. That fits in pretty well. Now, I chose these buildings because from the side you can pretend they're something else. They don't have to be medical centers. They could be the kind of base of operations for these little centers here. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. And let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Let's move this out again. Let's pause the game again. I don't need that moving anymore. Everything is nice and dry. There we go. Absolutely perfect. So, I don't know. I tell you what. Make sure I don't delete the key wall. Delete that. Can I get away with, these are my favorite buildings to use as the kind of main building for places like golf clubs and tennis arenas, that kind of thing. Oh, it fits in. Oh, that is perfect. So it doesn't have to be a children's health center. It can be anything you want. So let's change it to, there you go, basketball center. Absolutely perfect. And we do the same over the other side. There you go. That one's called the tennis club. So there you go. Looks like that. Absolutely perfect, considering I did not know what I was doing to begin with. But yeah, kind of happy with that. So yeah, let's carry on with what I originally wanted to do, was get the power jumping. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was not expecting that. What I was going to do, my original idea was I was going to put in a power line, kind of like up here, kind of connect it in there, and then cover it with nothing but tall trees. But okay, that's kind of worked. Was not expecting that, as you can probably tell by my voice. Okay, so we got a, well, now why is this here? Oh, this is to, yeah, okay. This is to power this, okay. So do I leave that there? I'm not too sure, let me move that for now. Let's just put you there. And delete that, so, yeah, okay. Look at the power jumping. So there's nothing jumping from there to there, but, okay. I've got an idea. Tell you what I can do. I can put a road along here, and hopefully the power will jump. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a road along here, kind of connect it into the mountain along there, that kind of thing, and put in maybe an odd building or two around here. Yeah, kind of make it a kind of mountain living, that kind of thing. So let's do that right now. There we go. I've just slipped in his police department, but we're going to change this into something a little unique and kind of fit into this area. There we go. Ranger station. So use your imagination. This is not a police department. It's a ranger station. Let's see if we can get some more of these buildings popping in. So let's see. Still got to wait for a couple here. Maybe I can put in a Little commercial gas station up here. Encourage people to move in. The ranger patrol's on already. And so I need 2 of them. Oh, we got a building popping in here. Hopefully, yeah, there you go. Everything is now connected. Perfect. And all this is connected as well. There we go. Hopefully I can get a little gas station up here, and then I think we're absolutely done for my kind of mountain build, but I'm going to put a couple of buildings up and down here. Maybe have them as kind of rich estates, that kind of thing. Let's put in a couple more little buildings here and there. No, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to have one there. And maybe we're just going to have a big one here. So hopefully these will level up into something better than what we got here. So yeah, this is the gas station, but it's facing the wrong way. So let me take away the zoning from the street here. There we go. Hopefully that'll kick in. Yeah, these are definitely the kind of weird mountain properties I want to keep here. Kind of looking weird like that, but yeah, that kind of fits in. Some kind of architectural nightmare. That only the architect knows exactly what's going on. Yeah, okay, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, there we go. Perfectly kind of crazy building. It's kind of what I'm looking for, the vibe around this area here. Wait for a few of these to kind of level up. What we got going on here? Oh, we got a building here. I forgot about that one. Okay. What you gonna be? You gonna be something interesting? Oh, you're not. Okay. We lacking power down here. Okay. Couple of wind turbines there should help out. I'm thinking just for now until I come up with a better plan. But yeah, I'm okay with that for now. Over here is looking all right, I guess. Yeah, happy with that. What is that? Oh, it's a rock. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's carry on with the buildings we got over here. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to put in some commercial buildings here because we got a demand for it. And this is a a train station, so it needs commercial buildings, I guess. I'm going to put a bunch of commercial buildings in here. So we're going to, I guess, fill up all this little area here. There we go. I'm going to put just a few here. So maybe 3x3 and a 3x3. Maybe a 2x3, like that. Kind of thing. And then maybe, should we put some here? I think we'll put a 3x3 here. And a 2x3. And a 2x3 or 3x2 there. There we go. So yeah, let's see what pops in. Do I want any more? I think I am okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So yeah, let's watch all this grow in and see what happens. There you go. It's kind of cool seeing all the mountains come alive. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm obviously going to have to do some whack-a-moling because we got some big ugly buildings. I don't want to be big and ugly. So we're going to keep this one here. Now this one here, I'm going to keep this one, like this one. Got there just in time. This one here, shall I keep this one? I might as well. Oh, let me see what that turns into next. This one, I'm going to keep that one. Why not? This one here, let me see. It's not too bad, not too bad. Okay, we'll keep that one. We'll see what this turns into. This is absolutely perfect. I like the way they kind of fit in like that. That's kind of cool. And yeah, we can fit this in. This one we might wait to level up. This is interesting. We'll keep that anyway. This one, we'll wait for these to level up. Over here, oh, we got a gas station. Let's make that. Oh, we got a gas station here anyway. Okay. So let's make that historical. I'm going to get rid of this building here. I'm going to make this historical. I'm going to make the next one that pops in here historical, and that'll be kind of that area kind of done. And you can see you got a whole bunch of people moving up and down the streets. And these roads are getting a little bit busier, which is perfect. And look at that, we got little potential to put in a little path. just about get away with it, I hope, without destroying a building. There we go, and then that's popped in and we make that historical. There we go, that's looking good. So we see what these pop into, but yeah, we'll play whack-a-mole with them a little bit later. Over here we got them secured. This is secured, this is the wrong building. So I'm waiting for that little kind of gas station. So hopefully that'll pop in. That's definitely a kind of an odd-looking mountain building. An architect's dream, but a member of the public's nightmare. There we go, perfect. Let me catch that right in time. And there we go, we got the gas station, the top of the mountain. Let me put in the next little building next to it. Hopefully we'll get that little store that always pops in. There we go, so I think that's coming along nicely. I think that is the kind of the end of my mountain building. I am thinking about putting stores here just to make this look more, I don't know, it looks more realistic. I guess we have stores on this side as well. So yeah, maybe just up to here. I think I'll leave all this kind of blank. So yeah, let's do that because we still got a demand for stores. There we go, that should work out. And I don't mind if these ones here are big. And look at that path is getting well used. Perfect. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with what we got going on. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, let's work on what we got going on here. So this is our, yeah, this is our observatory. So let's change this around. So I want this facing kind of that way. Kind of thing. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. Let me change this over. So I'm going to raise up the land just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's put a road in here. We're going to go for that kind of famous dirt track that I like using. There we go. And let's put you back in. That's looking better. Yep, I like that. Better view. Kind of cool. So yeah, let's delete the road completely. And then we put it back in. I'm going to freeform this. I want to try and get this as far away from here as possible. I just want to see when, let me give it some power. Temporary power for now. Just so I can get rid of that symbol. There we go, perfect. So now I can see when I make the T disappear. There you go, that's perfect. So it's about there. So that's my little marker there. So let's put a little road in here. Okay, so we're going to move this over here. So how are we going to get power to here? So this is my idea. We're going to put a little road kind of here somehow. So yeah, let's box this in just temporarily. Get rid of the snapping points just so I can make it straight, and then I can start boxing it in. Put the snapping points back on. There we go. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put a little kind of power station behind here. Somehow, and then we're going to disguise it with some trees. So let's do that. So I'm thinking this one looks kind of modern looking. That fitting in okay? That's kind of, yeah, I kind of like that. That's lined up pretty well. It's kind of modern, so you could pretend it's part of this kind of complex. So let's put the road in over here. There we go. So that's boxed in. And then let's box that in. Like that. And then I can flip that over, making sure it fits snugly against the side there so I don't lose the position it was originally in. There we go, I'm going to delete all these. Like that, and then we're going to reform that road back in. And that's how we're going to get power to the observatory. And delete that. And delete that, don't need that anymore. There we go, perfect. Now do I want to put this road around here? I'm not too sure, Well, that's leveled up, okay. What's it gonna be? Please be something nice. Please be something good. It is. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. It's got a bit of a mountain kind of, I don't know, European villa kind of mansion estate kind of look. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. We'll make that historical. Okay, so let's get back to here. So do I want a road going along around the back here? I'm not too sure. Kind of like, yeah, I kind of like that road going behind there instead of kind of around here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to stick with that. So let's carry on with this road then, I guess. There we go. So that's my kind of final design. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. There's no more buildings I want to put in. What I'll do is I'll spend some time whack-a-moling, and then we'll just finish up with some detailing, that kind of thing. So I'll get back to you when I've done all the whack-a-moling, and I'll show you what buildings I've kind of kept. Okay, there we go. After a couple of hours, not really much has changed. I went away and I came back, and it still looks like the same. I'm waiting for a building to pop in just like these. I want this kind of mountain kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm going for these kind of little buildings like we got this one. I didn't make historical. I'm going to do that right now. Yeah, so that kind of feel. How's this one? This is historical, and yeah, so a little bit like that. Look at the top of the village. That looks like that. That's okay. As you can see here, this one, I made this one historical because they cleverly thought, well, the side of the mountain's looming, so we better stop building this way and just build this way. So it looks like that, and I made that historical because it kind of fits in with the territory, I guess. And over here, still waiting for this one, and this one to level up. The rest are as I want them. And as you can see here, this is my kind of favorite little kind of mountain building for this kind of area. I kind of like these buildings. They're kind of cool. There you go. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it like that for now. So yeah, this is my build, I think. I'm going to leave this like this. So yeah, I think we're going to do a lot of detailing. So what I do is I do a detailing time lapse and I'll get back to you. Okay, folks, we are nearly done. So let's have a little bit of a chit chat while I finish this all off, I guess. So yeah, this is technically about 2 or 3 days later, which is kind of customary for me. So yeah, because of my life, I guess, I got a super busy life, super busy career, that is, and I got a super busy family, extra super busy, especially with 3 girls on the run. So, well, running their house, I know that. So I got all that to, keep me occupied. So yeah, I'm not really prolific with my videos. I'm definitely not a full-time YouTuber. If I was, I'd probably jump at the chance because I get to do something I love. And if I was, I'd probably put in lots more effort. I'd become more professional and you'd probably get better quality videos. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing. This is a lot of fun. Now I'm going to look for my favorite tree to cover up these train tunnels. So yeah, then I guess after I've done this, maybe tomorrow or the day after that, I'll finally do some editing, which will take a long time, because these take a mighty long time. Then maybe a day later, I'll probably do the uploads. So yeah, that's kind of a week in my life. Only for these kind of City Skylines videos, because I don't know, I want to put the effort into these because I love this game. This game is beautiful. So that's why these ones take longer. All the other ones are a bit of a breeze, I guess, especially my Fallout videos. It takes me about 60 minutes max. There we go. So we got all that done. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, let me show you what we've done. So talk over. Good talk. Well done. So yeah, there we go. So we finally finished off my kind of Olympic mountain design. We did the wind turbine farm there. As you can see, one of them is not moving. That's because there's a lack of wind. Designed by the game, so I've left it there just because it looks aesthetically pleasing. We finished off the Olympic Park. We put lots of more rocks and trees around here. We got a mountain trail going all the way to the Observatory. I snuck in there a power station hidden behind all the trees, and then I put in these mountain villages, as you can see here. I spent a lot of time whack-a-moling because they are taking an absolute age. And there's still a lot of them. Is this game running? I can't remember. It is, yeah, there we go. I spent a whole lot of time trying to wait for these to pop in, but yeah, they're not popping in. So I just keep running, and then eventually in 100 years' time, I'll get the right buildings. But I've done all that. I've changed up some of the buildings. I've retitled some of them, so you'll find that out in a minute. But yeah, let's take a little closer look. So this is probably a longer walkthrough because most of the video was spent... Oh, now it's playing. There we go. Most of the video was spent doing time lapses. So this is the Olympic Village, you can see here. Reshaped and realigned all these kind of buildings. I wanted them to be lower so you could get that view there. And yeah, this all kind of lined up all in the center, which was a bit of a... a bit of a happy accident, I guess. So I guess it's almost central, but it all looks like that. I played around with some key walls. I kind of fast-tracked that because you see me do that millions of times. But I came up with these designs here. Let me go into this view to show you. Still stuck on the tree and jumpy game. So here we got the renamed basketball center, which looks like that. And this is mirrored on the other side. We have the tennis center, but I've called that the tennis club, as you can see there. And the Olympic kind of stadium looks like that. Always mirrors on the other side to make it kind of even and equal. And it looks like that. Try to keep it minimum because I've already done a kind of crazy buck wild stadium, I guess. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. This is the eatery for them. Looks like that. Subway as well, which is being heavily used. And the stadium is a soccer stadium. Oh, look, they're just getting on the playing field. Okay. And over here, you can see I've done my pretend parking lots. There we go. So that's all that. Or as you can see, we got the little hangout spot here for... Let me go back into this view here. We got the hangout spot for the wind turbine farm. Although, why would you want to hang out here? Why would you want to hang out here? Maybe if you got ear protectors, you'd be fine. So there we go. Or ear defenders. And then this mountain trail goes all the way through the canyon, through the trees, which looks pretty cool, especially if you're on the ground high level, I guess. Something like that. There we go. And then if you see this little path, it winds all the way around to this kind of national historical, I don't know, site, which is kind of based on Stonehenge, because that's the only one I know in the whole world that looks like that. There's thousands of them, but this is the only one I know. There you go, and I've snuck a few of these together to make this look like the, I don't know, visitor center. And I always put these magazine stands here. You can pretend it's like a souvenir store. And this winds all the way around here. Lots of rocks and trees. Beautiful mountain trail, he says. Try not to go too fast, but goes all the way up here to the Simpsons-like Observatory, telescope, and a little minimalistic design here. And like I said, I snuck in the futuristic-looking power station behind there to give it power. And it looks like that, and it's pretty cool. It's got a great view of the city. There we go. And then, as you can see, I did a lot of exuberant mountain kind of living kind of buildings. I wanted some of the modern architectural ones, which are architect's dream, although the public will probably protest on its very creation. And I did a few little garden details because I didn't really want to go overboard because, as you can see here and here, because I'm a bit scared of my prop count. I don't know how many props you're allowed to put down. There we go. The only other one I got is over here, which I went to town. Managed to kind of sneak in this tennis court here, so you got to imagine this is their tennis court. Although looking at the the footfall, looks like the whole city is using it. But yeah, this is my exuberant kind of rich mansion kind of yard, I guess. And I'm waiting for this to level up. I'll show you here. There you go. Still waiting for that to level up. As you can see, I'm not happy with that design yet. Just yet. But yeah, there'll be a leveling up later on. So yeah, a little bit of whack-a-mole in there. A lot of whack-a-mole to be done on some of these. But as you can see, a lot of these, how I want them. I like these ones to be like this. They're super ugly, but they're kind of fitting for what I want. So that looks like that. All the way along there. We got another bunch of them here. I kind of like these two together. I don't know why. I just like them. We got these ones here. These are my favorite ones. For the mountainside, that is. So yeah, that looks like that. A lot of whack-a-mole in to get all these in. Oh, we got this ugly one again. Oh, let me get rid of that. That is super ugly. Speed that up and I'll make whatever that turns into instantly historical. But as you can see, I'm still doing a little bit of whack-a-mole, but most of this is how I want it. Please be something nice. You could be nice. You could be nice. I'm gonna pretend you're nice. I'm gonna make you historical. I prefer it if you're a gas station, but okay. Yeah, stick with that. So yeah, we got that. Oh, is that a gas station? Oh, we got a gas station there. Never mind. Strike that. So yeah, we got all that. Did I make that historical? I did. There we go. Perfect. And slow you back down. And back to that view. There we go. So yeah, there we go. I thought it'd be kind of fitting to fill in the little areas around the train station with commercial buildings, because I think this is where they would go. Snuck in a little path here and there, that kind of thing. And then this winds all the way up to this lower village here, which got my favorite kind of mountain house. Looks a bit Swiss Alpy, I guess. Kind of cool. Up here, we turned this into, from a police department, we turned it into a ranger station. There we go. I did a similar thing somewhere else. I can't remember where it is. I'll find out in a few seconds. We did this little school here, mountain school. And this is the topmost mountain village. Looks like that. And as you can see, the road winds all the way around here. As I rush along into the next building I was kind of looking for. There we go. And this is now Mountain Rescue. And back into this view here. So there we go. Looks like that. It's kind of cool. It was a lot of work. I thought I was only going to do this, and then I got kind of carried away as usual and did the whole lot of this area. There you go. And yeah, I spent a lot of time getting the power to jump. Let me show you. As you can see here, all these are connected by one or two odd buildings next to each other. As you can see, it kind of connects here, then jumps up here, that kind of thing. Done that all the way around this little area here. Here we got its own little power station. This is all connected via here, which is all connected via here, which is all connected to the main city, which is why these got kind of connectivity, and I got rid of the wind turbines. And over here, this side is kind of connected by the power farms here. And as you can see here, I've run a line right here and covered it in trees like that, just to connect to this kind of toll booth, which is working. There we go. So it's pretty cool. And let me have a think. Yeah, and the last thing is, as you can see, I took away the wind turbines. I placed in a few kind of commercial buildings here. A little bit of detailing. And a few of these gardens here. Are these tropical gardens? I think they are. I pressed the wrong button again, didn't I? Keep pressing escape. Yeah, tropical gardens. There we go. And I did a little bit of extra kind of flavoring around here just to match up with what we got there. It's kind of cool. A minimalistic kind of design for this one. I was conscious of the fact I'm just going tree crazy, I guess. And I thought I'd give sometimes less is more. And I didn't realize that people, although people are using this, which I've also finished off, people actually go all the way through there. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. So originally we had all these trees here, back into this view here, and then I just carried them all the way around here, because this was kind of barren and bare. Gotta put some of those trees here, I think. And then I finished off with this path here. Do you remember to kind of stop there? Kind of made it into a mountain path, and it's being used. It's pretty cool. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but it works. It works. And yeah, so I think that's about it. Although I am not happy I don't have trees here. So I guess this is almost my last video, almost, for this series. As he looks to the right tree, here it is. Gotta get somewhere over the edge here. This is less forgiving, this kind of, because it's got that little thing there. Yeah, I'm not gonna get away with it. Okay, never mind. Okay, that'll do. I'm happy with that. Let's press save. And there we go, save. So yeah, this is almost my last episode. All we're gonna do now is finish off the coastline here. Finally put down those crazy monuments in there somehow, and then this will be the last kind of build, this little area here. I might throw down something here. These were my designs, if you remember rightly, for these buildings here. So kind of similar, I guess, as to what I originally planned. So there we go. So there you go, folks. I'll leave it like that. So yeah, in the meantime, sincerely, take care of each other. Have a really nice day, and I will see y'all